Meteorologist Mark Molnar. Thank you for joining me for Weather Northeastern here for your winter weather update. Let's take a look at the particulars here for the Northeast. We're taking it segment by segment here for your Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Take a look at the Northeast here. We're socked in with a frontal boundary that's pretty much draped across the Mason-Dixon line area. Out ahead of the main shield of precipitation, warm air aloft is pushing up across Pennsylvania, Interstate 80, Interstate 81, State College, Wilkes-Barrie, Scranton, Binghamton, up to Syracuse, as far north as the Thruway, where most of it should be snow to start out. Freezing rain and sleet takes over later on in the night on Wednesday, and that's where we'll get some significant ice accumulations on the order of about 1/10, I believe, to as much as 1/4 inch, especially many of the counties in Pennsylvania, stretching up to the New York border counties of the southern tier of New York, the Catskills, the Poconos, even stretching a little bit east here into portions of New England. I'll get into those ice particular maps here with the exact totals, but this is the scenario here we're looking at. We get into an interesting scenario Thursday night into Friday too, as we get some sort of coastal development too. Take a look at this. Here is your scenario on Thursday night and Friday as we transition from the frontal boundary across the Mason-Dixon line region to just off the coastline here. This system will move to the northeast as it strengthens. It may have some time to push some cold air here on the back side. Most of the significant snowfall accumulations stay into portions of the Adirondacks, Mohawk Valley, eastern Lake Ontario region, over towards the Lake Erie region. So let's get right into the particulars for your setup here across the Northeast. Liquid precipitation amounts across much of the country from the northwest where it'll be active, but here back east, look at this slug of moisture that this system has to work with out of the Gulf of Mexico up into portions of the Appalachians, stretching all the way up into portions of New York, Pennsylvania, portions of Harrisburg, Philadelphia, up towards portions of southeast New England. We'll be looking at a big slug of moisture. Most of that should be on the day on Thursday and Thursday night where it'll stay rain, but even back here into the cold air, up to 3/4 of an inch of liquid equivalent. That's a lot for frozen precipitation, and much of this could fall as ice across the New York and Pennsylvania regions. So there you have it. Jet stream components that will be working into this system are as follows. The jet streams will be coming out of the Gulf of Mexico here, digging across the east, and this is where we'll get enough cold air on the northwest component of the system and overrunning a little bit of a high to the north. I would like to see a little bit stronger of a high to get a much more pronounced all snow scenario, but this go around once again, we don't have that component. Nevertheless, we'll still have some cold air at the surface, like I was saying, for Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and that will keep us socked in with sleet and freezing rain across the region. So there you have it. That's the particulars for the jet stream we're looking at. An active southern branch as well, moving up the coastline. Plenty of Gulf and Atlantic moisture to activate this system. So let's get right into what you've been waiting for. Snowfall amounts across the Northeast. Take a look at this. We're not looking too bad as far as snowfall amounts until you get up towards Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, Erie, Jamestown, Olean, maybe as far east as Bradford, portions of the Adirondacks, Mohawk Valley, up to Burlington, northern Vermont, New Hampshire. This is where we could be socked in the most with significant snowfall accumulations. First, Wednesday night into early Thursday morning before it changes over to mixed, and then into your Friday, especially later Friday. As the coastal takes over, we get less influence from that moisture moving in. And there you have it. In the middle here, towards the I-81 and I-80 corridor regions, this is where we'll have more mixed. So it should cut us down to just a couple inches or less, with ice being the main component. And there is your ice accumulation forecast. This is not looking good, particularly for Wednesday night into Thursday morning, where we will have ice accumulations on the order of 1/10 to 1/4 inch on average. Places like Wilkes-Barrie, Scranton, State College, Altoona, over to Forest City, Erie, Jamestown, Elmira, Binghamton, Monticello, even as far east as portions of the Hudson Valley and western New England here. So there you have it. Ice will be a major component for your Thursday morning commute before it changes over to plain rain on Thursday, and I'll show you those maps momentarily. Speaking of maps, here they are for your Wednesday across the Northeast. We're not looking too bad. We're kind of socked in with clouds here. Temperatures up towards the 30s, low to mid 30s in most areas. We will see some light precipitation breaking out here, particularly south of the Pennsylvania Turnpike here, but it's Wednesday night. Here's what I'm going to show you. Precipitation quickly overspreads the region as we have a warm front coming back north, as that front that's been undulating back and forth here across the Mason-Dixon line begins to return its flow to the north, and we have a ripple of low pressure that moves along it, pushing all of that moisture into this cold dome of air at the surface, and we will get ice accumulations with temperatures only in the mid to upper 20s here across the Northeast. So there you have it, trouble spots into Thursday morning, but here it is, Thursday afternoon. We go into time here. Look at this, rainfall spreads as far north as the Finger Lakes and into the Hudson Valley and the New York State Thruway here. So temperatures warm well into the 40s, even some 50s here across Pennsylvania, so we melt a lot of that ice into your Friday. There you have it. We're on the back side of the system. Here it is, the coastal starts to take over as it moves towards the northeast, towards Long Island, southeastern New England. It pulls some cold air back behind it. I think we'll have much of a dry slot here across the Hudson Valley, Catskills, Poconos, portions of the Susquehanna Valley to keep us mostly out of these significant snowfall accumulations that occur on the northwest conveyor belt here across portions of the Lake Erie, Lake Ontario region up to the Adirondacks, where significant snowfall is likely into your, and there you have it. That is what we're looking for here across the Northeast. Let's take a look at the extended outlook for my hometown viewers, Binghamton, Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York, Northeast Pennsylvania. Look at this for your Wednesday. Calm, it's Wednesday night. Ice, 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice. This is going to spell trouble for your Thursday morning commute. Temperatures will warm up into the mid-40s across the Binghamton, Wilkes-Barrie, Scranton areas, so that is good news. Into your Friday, rain changes back to snow after 8 or 9 a.m., and we'll get up to 1 inch to maybe up to 3 inches possible, especially in the higher elevations, but most of it should be northwest of us. Into your Saturday, there you have it, some clearing, and Sunday, the wintry conditions as far as temperatures continue across the area. So winter is definitely trying to make a comeback here across our region. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com, website MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. Thanks for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern.